video games at home, I think this film may be a little bit cooked, chat. But I don't care. If it's fun bad, then we're still seated. But if it is driven bad, then Lewis, you will pay for your crimes. Or maybe not, since Lewis showed up in a motorcycle and all black helmet, which, no matter if we're straight or gay, we have to admit, all of us felt something watching this, so apology accepted, Lewis. Anyways, McLaren also showed a special livery for this race, which they claim is a nod to their old 60s car. However, it just looks like their 2017 car, if anything. McLaren's special liveries either result in shit results or the best performance ever, so I'm really hoping for the former this weekend, which, let's see if that's true. Friday starts, and as always, we got FP1, and considering we are in Monaco, we can 100% expect some crashes and damage for many. Take, for example, Leclerc and Stroll. Not even 10 minutes into FP1, there was a crash between Lance and Charles where it seems Stroll was too busy watching Family Guy clips to notice the blue flags for Charles, checking his mirrors, or hearing his engineer telling him about Leclerc behind. My guy had 3 whole warnings and still did nothing to avoid the collision with Charles. I'm afraid that's peak cinema right there. This is why I fuck with you, Lance. So after those shenanigans, the session is back underway where we see Charles looking rapid and Hamilton flying. Lewis in general was having a rough session since not only did he fly, he almost crashed that turn whatever this is and got called out by Liam of all people for going too slow. You know how bad you have to mess up for the PM person to say what are you doing? So after that and more traffic jams, the session ends with Charles fastest and the McLaren's 3rd and 5th. Don't celebrate yet, don't celebrate yet. Time for FP2, and it seems a couple of drivers have sat down for a lesson with Colapinto. Leading up to the weekend, Alpine did a little video where Franco drives around Monaco on the F1 game where he proceeds to hit the wall on turn 1 and at the chicane, and it seems that Franco's best students, Pastry and Hadjar, took really good notes since Piastri crashed at turn 1 and Hadjar crashed at the chicane. Max seeing this saw just how good of a teacher Franco is, so he went up alongside him and gave him a round of applause for his brilliant teaching efforts. Anyways, the session also saw Charles still the fastest and Lewis for real now flying in P3. Don't celebrate yet. Don't celebrate yet. Finally, it's FP3 time, and with the session so close to quali, drivers don't usually push on these laps. However, Lewis didn't get the memo since he had a light crash in the session. However, it's not major, so that's good. And what's also good is his teammate Charles is still the fastest driver. Don't celebrate yet. Don't celebrate yet. So with the practices done, it is time for the qualifying where we can for sure expect action. So let us see how it goes. Q1 begins, and as expected, there is heavy traffic and times keep going lower and lower with each passing minute. Since conditions are like this, you are truly never safe in quali here, since one moment you could be first, but thanks to the high track evolution and traffic clearing up, you could be last by the time the session ends. So everybody is desperate. Someone who is very desperate is Stroll, not because he wants to be competitive, hell no, but because he wants to go back home and get away from everything. So while watching his Family Guy clips, he apparently mistakes Gasly for Leclerc and compromises the two of them. Classic. Anyways, the session is closing out and everybody improves. However, at the end of the session, the yellow flags come out for Kimi Antonelli for doing what we all have done on the F1 game. Pray for the rookies, everybody. Also late in the session was a classic Ferrari moment where Lewis was told Max was pushing, so he slowed down. However, was then quickly told Max was slowing down when in fact he was not, so Lewis sped up and impeded Max, and now we have another Ferrari moment to share at the campfire. Q2 time, and right when all the drivers were about to have a time on the board, dramatic as George had his Mercedes car blow up and bring out the red flag again. Who would have thought coming into the weekend that Mercedes would qualify 14th and 15th? All I'm saying is, I wouldn't let that shit happen to my team. So after the short red flag, we're back out, and as always, Q2 ends up being the most uneventful. However, there were surprises. For starters, Sainz and Yuki get out in Q2, which is a big shame since they really shouldn't. However, there are big midfield surprises at their cost. Ocon gets through, Alonso is through, Hadjar is through, and the biggest of them all, Porson is through and looks very competitive. If the big drivers must fall, at the very least the midfield drivers get elevated. A soul for a soul. Anyways, time for Q3, and this will be massive since not only can he get pole, but 99% of the time, the win as well. The first runs are nothing special since it's mostly used tires. However, the second runs begin now and everybody's on new tires, so here we go. McLaren sets the benchmark with Lewis going 3rd, Max going 5th, Charles going fastest, Pastry not improving. However, Lando gets his lick back by going on pole. I don't think there are any words to describe just how lame McLaren are. All weekend they were sandbagging until it matters. I don't think a team has been this lame since Mercedes from 2018 to 2020, but whatever. It was a great lap from Lando, and I really just wish they showed their pace since the beginning. So with the brilliant quali finished, we now have the race, and with the 2 stops being mandatory, this could be juicy, but it's Monaco, so who the hell knows. Anyways, lap 1 begins, and after Lando almost bottles turn 1, all the drivers keep it clean until Bor and Kimi had a little incident where the Monaco walls were at fault. So after a short VSC and the soft runners spinning for hards, the race gets back underway, but halts just as quick thanks to Gasly's car killing itself and taking him out the race. Yellow's lifted again, and now we enter into proper racing around Monaco, which is a whole load of nothing. I mean, sure, the extra stops are nice and somewhat entertaining, but who cares? No one is overtaking. So nothing would happen for a while until Alonso hit his main goal to blow up and George overtaking Albon off the track after being stuck behind him all the race, which both are pretty funny, but I don't know, man. I would just love some racing. And the gods listened. Charles started to push Lando extremely hard at the end, but ultimately it is Monaco. So Lando put up a good defense and came home to win the Monaco race. Overall, the new 2-stop rule was actually a good success since we had good strategy across all the teams except for Mercedes, and I liked it. So good job, Monaco. You get a W from me. So with the recap over, it's time for the winners and losers. And as always, we got the losers first up, and we got Lance Stroll. This weekend was truthfully a classic Lance Stroll weekend. While Aston didn't have the same pace as Imola, they still
officiated, and here we go, and the Knicks will have it first.
How high out those high screaming rolls are for Jalen Brunson. Gives them a little bit more room to operate downhill.
Shot Siakam the other way, coming off that monster game of 39 in game 2. This is over Brunson across the lane.
Well, he created a mismatch,
but not where he not. Nimhard with a 2 in the first 4 minutes.
Halliburton only shooting 18% from 3 in this building in the playoffs.
Big 3 right there by Anunoby. Halliburton, who struggles a bit at home in these playoffs, is better on the road with his offense. He's looking for the screen from Turner and goes into Brunson. And got that one.
a lot of contact as well, but didn't get the call. Good defense there in transition by Indiana.
Bridges hard into Toppin with the fadeaway.
That's nice.
Who created the extra opportunities.
They go in here in stride. Robinson couldn't get it. Shepard has come in. That ball was deflected. Halliburton corner. Shepard free.
Because he is a bigger body, a better blockout guy, and a better rebounder than Thomas Brown.
One shot will go. Bridges. Hart. Robinson in perfect position, staked his claim and got it to go. Halliburton at the controls. McConnell will cut and fire and get his own miss.
You don't play the series, you play the game.
Spinning move, McConnell. He's had 2 straight games of 10 points in each.
Well, Jalen, your defense held the Pacers to just 2 of 9 from 3, but most importantly, limit them in transition. What's focused and locked in this game defensively for you?
Exactly that. Limiting them in transition is making everything as difficult as possible to stay connected.
Offensively, no turnovers so far. They're doing such a good job being physical on the ball screens. How are you finding the space and protecting the ball offensively?
Just trying to obviously keep the ball out of the possession and making smart plays and at least getting shots on board.
Thanks, Jalen.
So Shanna comes in, as Reg was talking about. Towns on top, Turner right there. Towns will fly into a couple and get it to go. His first basket tonight. Long shot, Towns, no.
That was awfully deep, awfully early.
Here's McConnell, puts on the brakes, and a 14-footer is down. Towns again, launching a 3. Mathurin grabs it. Ahead it goes. Siakam in full stride. By Karl Anthony Towns. Landry Shamet on top. Cutting Anunoby into the hole. Toppin in the corner. Neesmith with it right here. The hero of game 1 with the move. And leans underneath Anunoby. Out of bounds it goes. Steal by Halliburton. 2-on-1 with Shepard. And a trailer in Toppin. It's a Brunson 3. Rebound Shepard. Halliburton on the move. A 3 Halliburton.
They're looking for the knockout. They're trying to look out for the knockout here in this first half.
11-0 run since the challenge. Picked off Halliburton.
This has got to be a timeout coming after this for New York.
6 Brunson will fight his way through 10. Hard offensive rebound. Kicks it out. Anunoby. It's a 3.
Nice.
Bridges will take it down low. On top for Shannon. Makes the move. Open corner. It's a 3. And it's down. Bridges hits.
And now down to 10.
Nice pass inside. Turner. Up top. Nimhard. Defense got back there for the Knicks, and Nimhard. The trailing Neesmith 3. Timeout New York. Halliburton looking one way, through on the other. Siakam inside. Wow. Towns there, Turner in the way, looking for the cutting Brunson. Knocked away, turnover. Indiana's got it. And numbers, top end.
Well, I'm wondering, did the ball even touch the floor?
Waiting to see the ankle take him down again. He is questionable. They haven't ruled him out yet, but didn't look good.
Allie, good report, and we thank you for that.
He was able to get it off the glass.
Where Brunson just faces pressure every time. Here he goes, down the lane, and a rare open lane to work with. Got him late in the season. Some rebound. Towns will cash in with the 3.
Wants to jab and shoot a 3.
Towns into Turner, and across the lane with the spin.
Good move there by the big cat. And you have numbers if you want him with McConnell on the backside.
From behind. What a pass. Towns into the cutting right. McBride to Hart. Back to McBride. Trailing Towns by Turner and Hard to the hole. It is a 3-point game. Turner cutting. Siakam doubled.
Look at the defense.
Look at the defense is right. Oh, what a shot. Siakam. Here is Brunson. Towns, quick 3. Turner there. Coming up.
Got it on locked right now.
In fact, it's been the worst 5-man lineup in the league in the playoffs.
Bridges double. Towns cutting and jackhammers. And New York's got the lead. What a comeback.
How about the back cut there? And the Knicks cut it to 13.
Karl Anthony Towns, 15 points in the fourth quarter. Shot, Halliburton 3. Good. Towns has got 10 rebounds. Brunson hard, inside, on the fly. Got it to go.
To me, I think. And now the Pacers offense not flowing like it was in that first half.
They're shooting 48%. Siakam. Big shot by Siakam.
I think that's who's going to have to carry.
Brunson on the bench with 5 fouls.
All right, the hot hand here of Cat.
Towns 3. Good! What a shot!
Well, they've got their starters on the floor.
Bridges and Siakam. Siakam shot. Oh, a big one. Got Anunoby there.
Good D there.
It is. Defense has changed for the Knicks. Neesmith bullies his way and knocked away. Swatted away by Anunoby. Shot clock at 2.8. It's in, it's high. McBride saves it, and Anunoby can't. It was deflected out of bounds. It's off Indiana. Shot clock at 7.
And they're wanting to challenge that one. And we'll see if Rick Carlisle will use it.
It'll be on Tuesday, and here is the challenge and the outcome. He didn't touch it, did he?
He did not. And successful challenge. We are now done with challenges for the night. That was Indiana's second and last, and New York lost theirs.
The last 12 minutes, the Knicks have outscored them 33-14. Here's a shot by Halliburton.
That was a huge possession in bucket here.
15 rebounds for Towns. Bridges on the baseline. Going the other way, knocked away. Siakam, here's a 3. McBride, no. Rebound, Turner. It's Brunson. That shot clock is low. Driving inside on Neesmith and got the teardrop to go down. Wow. And cutting. Turner for the lead. Rebound flying inside, and a foul called, and down goes Hart.
And that was another great rebound for Josh Hart.
This is 2 of 2.
Well, and Tom Thibodeau can have both Brunson and Towns on the bench because he's got 2 timeouts left.
But he has played 34 minutes, and his rebounding late in the game has been huge. And a couple of beauties right there.
Big
Huge
ones.
free throws.
New York by 2. Cutting Brunson. And quickly fouled with 8.1 left in regulation. Last 11 consecutive free throws. And Brunson's been perfect at the line. 9 of 9 now. Big fourth quarter. Brunson trying to make it a 4-point lead. Indiana timeout, 8.1 to go.
I mean, think about where this was as the home team, but New York won the first 2 games of the series. Indiana came back and won it. So 2-0 leads, not insurmountable.
Nimhard will fire. And closing.
Yo, we're 999,000. Oh my god, we're close. We are so close. Any second now, this is gonna turn into 1 million. Any second. It's not updating. Isn't it supposed to update?
Let's go.
Yo, guys, come on, subscribe. Subscribe, guys, come on. Don't be weird. Yo! It's exactly 1 million! It's exactly 1 million! Yo! Let's go, guys. 1 million subscribers on the YouTube. Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you all so much. Wow. What a journey it's been. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Stop being so annoying, ass app. Nice, we killed the Rise. I'm fine mid versus Rise. Yeah, but they're gonna swap. They're gonna swap. This guy on me.
Stick to the plan now.
Oh, you're so gapped. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if I have the damage here. He's ignited. I felt like it. I'm gonna get level 2 here. You guys Hex Flash. That's a little bit scary. Does he have some tech with that? Is Wukong pathing into me, you think? If he is, he's not gonna be here for a while. 20 seconds. I think Wukong clears slow.
Did you win?
Ooh, the Hex Flash technology. What? Do not fuck this up. Okay, If you think that's worth it, go for it, man.
Stealing all. Find me. Go for the eye.
Rise is a lot harder to deal with than Darius, for me. Look at this guy.
Look, Val.
I think I'm laning versus Rise now, which is a lot harder. I missed.
We've got this covered. For the eyes. Dive you with the best.
That's all I can do. I guess I should recall here. If I can get level 6 from these minions, and then my team dives. Hey! Bro, this Warwick one trick is crazy. Oh, Flash and Ghost. Bro, this like Fiesta, man. I'm coming. Don't let me hit me. Wukong is here, by the way. Oh boy, I'm getting sucked into the Fiesta. Cats are trash, therefore cat emotes are trash. What? What did you just say?
We're in this together.
This guy's tab ice. I tickle him with my attacks.
Get the next one.
I don't have a job here. If I recall, I can't buy anything. If I stay, I can't bully him because I don't have items. I might just do 50 damage on this guy. I'll take one wave and then I recall.
Go for the eye.
I'm B. Now I can get a pickaxe. You know something I noticed? In calm and relaxing games, you wanna play aggressive because everybody's gonna be farming. So if you can get like a kill here and there, you will get a lead. In Fiesta games like this, where everybody's getting kills, you want to actually be farming because everybody's killing each other. So there's so much farm that people aren't farming. So if you just don't get sucked into the Fiesta, you will actually profit heavily. Like here, Warwick is just bot. So I'm just gonna go and farm his wave. I'm just gonna take his wave. Because he's getting sucked into it. Look, he's getting sucked right now. Sucked into the entire Fiesta. So I'm just gonna take his wave. Because this is farm no one is gonna get. So I might as well take it. So that's like... It's all about playing the market, right? Play the market, see what people invest in. You know how it goes. He's so fast. Oh wow, another mid-wave for me. If I don't die. I get dived. There's 9 people mid lane at 12 minutes. Am I going top and farming? I will go top and farm. If they're gonna do 9 people mid lane, I will... Nope. I will not get sucked into this fiesta. Good luck. Rise TP here. Oh my god, I'm misclicking. Fat finger. Oops. Kill this guy. Oh my god, my bad. Oh, this rise damage is ridiculous. Man. Yo, can someone go into this rise? I do not want to. And Wukong. I will give tower, I guess. We already have first tower for feats. Feats OP this patch, by the way. You always want to look to secure it. Constant fighting. There's a Wukong in the pit! Wukong in the... Everybody has flash. Rise flash, Vel'Koz flash, Wukong flash. Like, what the fuck? How can everybody have flash? I'm B. I'm mana.
Now you are not going lucidity boost.
Not on
Why are
Queen.
you baiting us?
I'm B.
Have fun.
Bro, it's such a fiesta. I'm getting sucked into it a little bit, but it's fine. My farm is still decent. Drake in 1 minute. Feel like I'm getting trapped. I eat a clone. I can't go in, like I have to... These fights, I just have to let my team do all the nasty work. And then I'll chase them when they get low. If I go in first, I will get Wukong ulted, you know, Rise snared. Anything, and I'm instead. Have to play the fights really slow with my champ. Am I getting sucked into it, or am I going bot to farm? Looking like a juicy fight, I'm coming.
You have slain an enemy.
What's up? Big. The Algomancer just gifted 100 subs. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 100 gifted. I'm dead.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Bye. Phew. We're out of there. Am I getting sucked into the fight or cannon wave? Cannon wave. Team's doing very good. They're winning 4v5 fights. Look at that. Nice.
Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has turret.
We can triple inhibitor then. If we get this one.
Your team has destroyed. Rampage. Your team has
We should recall here. Don't throw. Oh boy. Let him die.
shut down. An ally has been slain.
Am I letting my team down? No, I'm not. we can't lose. Don't throw the game. If we throw the game, Asap is gonna make a YouTube short about why you should never FF. So we have to win this. Come here. I am unleashed. Ooh, the towers. Give me that. Give me that rice. GG.
Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. I tell you what, if this is going to be the start to the transfer window for Manchester United, let's hope it's the start of an avalanche of incomings of players of the quality of this. It's been horrific this season. There are lots of things to analyse in the post-mortem of that, and yes, it's not been acceptable at all, but what I will say is this is a signing. If you've been part of the United Stand over the last few months, this is a player that many a time we've sat there and hypothetically said Cunha would be perfect for the Amorim system. Never really thought it was going to happen. Back in January, it was sort of feeling like he would be an Arsenal signing. But look, he was a player that you looked at with quality, playing at a team where he needs to take a step up with all due respect to Wolves. He's in his mid-20s. He's got that passion. He's got that fire. He's got that ability. He gets goals. He gets assists. He can dribble. He's got the right character. And I think Man United have got a real gem here. I think this is the sort of signing that we've known about it for a while. But anyway, what I should be saying is what Fabrizio Romano's put out. Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreements in place between all parties involved. Cunha will sign until June 2030 with option till 2031. Wolves will receive 62.5 million clause value in instalments. Formal steps and contracts to be checked this week. This came in about 8 minutes ago. So this is hot off the press. Cunha is a Manchester United player, and we have here we go, the first one of the summer transfer window. So make sure you smash a like on the video. But as I was saying there, I think we've all got a lot of reasons to be negative, and that is fine. But this is our first signing. Let's smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 10,000 like we have in the past. It's a new signing. It's the right signing. We've got the wrong owners. We've had the wrong season. But these things, in a world of chaos, there can be moments of glory. And I think this is a good moment for Manchester United. Is it Ineos PR, says Rooney? The trouble is it's always going to be Ineos PR. It's always going to be Glazer PR. And I'm actually grateful that you're saying that, because ultimately I think too many times we've been shifted from the negativity by a new shiny toy. So I don't think that people like that should be classed as negative for saying, is it PR, this, that and the other? Because ultimately, is it? Or is it the start of something? Pogba was PR. Zlatan was PR. Sancho was PR. All these good signings that we've reacted to together over the years have ultimately ended up with the club still getting worse. So I think what we have to do as fans of this great football club is acknowledge and be happy about things that we perceive to be good for the football club, but also be vocal and resolute on the fact that this won't be enough anymore. And I'm liking what I'm hearing and seeing from the fan base since the Europa League final loss on Wednesday. We will not be bought and diverted by these sorts of PR signings anymore. Cunha on his own will not make a big difference. Cunha on his own at Wolves, they were in a relegation battle and they finished the season well, but they weren't anywhere near the top half. Manchester United have just finished in the bottom half of the table. Cunha on his own is a brilliant signing, but he won't take us where we need to be. We need more. We need a lot more. And I think there's nothing negative about speaking positively about the signing and his suitability for Ruben Amorim, but saying we need a lot more than that and it's not going to be enough. But what I would say is a positive is that they really could drag this out. They really could say, oh, it's back and forth, we've got to cross the T's and dot the I's, but they're not. On the night of the final game of the season, they've delivered a here we go. You would have expected this would be tomorrow. It's 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday.
Yeah, stressful race. It's a lot of laps for things to go wrong, but an incredible race. We won Monaco, which has been a dream of mine since I was a kid. It's one race that everyone wants to win. Of course, when you spole yesterday, it's like job one done, but it feels like more pressure coming into today. So to finally get it done, and to be able to relax and enjoy it, because I think, maybe only the last lap I could smile a little bit and enjoy the rest of it. I'm like, there's still a lot of things you need to get right on a day like today, but we did. So I have to say a big thanks to the team. But of course, a win in Monaco is incredible.
I cannot be infinitely disappointed with yesterday. Yesterday was a big disappointment, and I think eventually we lose the race of today by missing pole yesterday. But it's the way it is. Honestly, for the car we have and for the situation we are in at the moment, I'm very satisfied with our overall result. We never expected to fight the McLarens this weekend. And here we are, and we were very close of winning that race. So I'm proud of what we've achieved. I'm happy that we come back home with quite a few more points. And yeah, disappointed to not be on the top step, but Lando did a great job, and congrats to him.
I knew after qualifying this was probably going to be where we ended up. So, that's all I can ask for, really. So. Some definite lessons to take for when we come back here next year, but all in all, still not a terrible weekend in terms of points, and being on the podium in Monaco is always pretty special, so I'll take it.
Yeah, honestly, there was not much for us to improve on, because I had a big gap behind. So for us to just stay out and maybe hope for a red flag or whatever, was the only option. We could have pitted sooner, but then you just sit there in fourth anyway.
No, it's miserable. The races here are generally, unless you're first and in the lead, even when you're in the lead, it's not that fun. So it's just a nice reward at the end. But other than that, anything but first is kind of empty.
Perfect weekend for me. It was honestly yesterday I had a lot of fun, a lot more fun than today. But still, the race was perfectly executed. Liam helped me massively. It was a great teamwork, and also he helped me, but he also got points. So I'm really happy, for him.
A really great weekend all around. We really didn't put a foot wrong. From qualifying to the race, we put everything together when it mattered. So really happy for that. It's 6 points for the team, which is a big thing. So very satisfied with this.
It's something that not often you have a plan and you execute it perfectly, and we're able to do that today. So for our fight in the midfield, it's very important. From my side, it's great to get some points. Obviously, I think honestly we should have started higher from yesterday, but that's on me. So going forward, obviously some changes in Barcelona that we're going to have to try and adapt to.
Great. It's not really how we want to go racing. I don't like going racing like that. I think in the end it's a tactical game, and we had to make it work. The RB started it, and we knew if they started it, we've got to match it, and it just makes this messy race. So could have brought a pillow in the car and a coffee and just chilled out for a little bit, but in a weird way it's even actually quite hard to keep your focus when you're driving around that slowly. yeah, it's not pretty, but I'm glad we got points for the team.
It's a good sign that the team 9 and 10th, we will be coming out of the weekend frustrated. Before, Williams 9th and 10th was a huge result, so I'll take that as a positive. I've had a bit of an off weekend until the race. In the race I felt quick, but we need to make sure we're back on the pace in Barcelona, even though Barcelona should be a trickier track for us.
And obviously at one point I just said screw it. You know, I want to enjoy Monaco. I didn't get the chance in quali yesterday. I got 25 laps driving, qualifying laps every lap. I enjoyed that at least. And ironically, I finished in a higher position by taking the drive-through penalty than I would have if I didn't. So, unfortunately, the system's flawed.
Yeah, I think we did the maximum. Congrats first of all to Esteban. I'm really happy that the team scored some points today. That's a really nice feeling after a difficult weekend on my side of the garage. Yeah, there was no points today on the table with the way the race panned out.
Starting from P20, quali in P20, it's just very tricky, you know, here to get to the points. But P13 was kind of the maximum we could have done. Just started on the wrong tire and, you know, trying to go very long to help Pierre, but Pierre race was quite short. So yeah, switched quite early to an early stop and just a lot of laps on that second medium, and yeah, made our race a bit tricky. Some people already undercut us before, so yeah, difficult race, but overall just need to work towards the next couple of races.
Well, it's a shame of what happened in there. You know, in the first lap, I think I managed to make a very solid move on, you know, in T6 in the hairpin. So it was very nice by the outside and gaining that position. And I don't know, I mean, obviously he doesn't want to see any car ahead of him. Losing a position in Monaco is quite embarrassing. It's bad because, you know, normally historically you don't lose position but you don't gain as well. And I think he tried a very optimistic move there. It's a shame because I think we could have tried some nice stuff today in the strategy. But then the race was quite boring after, with everyone doing team race, you know, team plays and everything. And yeah, couldn't do much more than what I did.
Yeah, it's Monaco. You know, when you have a tough Saturday, Sunday's always a challenge. So yeah, it was always going to be tricky from the back today.
You put it down, lack of performance. You need to help yourself. You know, push your own luck. If you start ahead, you avoid all this trouble. Yeah, and you know, we have work to do. We're getting an upgrade for next weekend in Barcelona, which obviously I'm excited about, and hope, you know, this will give us a step forward. Yeah, but yeah, after today, I don't know, happy to get going again next week and get this one out of the system.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the impact was, yeah, I don't know, I had damage or not, but anyway, was all right, and I was just, you know, teams play around the strategy and kind of as I expected, and I mean, if you're driving from P12, I mean, yeah, nothing you can do much. So, yeah, I mean, I had to, yeah, qualify better.
Yeah, I mean, nothing more could have done there. I was just trying to help the team as much as possible, and yeah, at least, you know, the last 5 laps I could have pushed, which you know, was fun. But yeah, it was also kind of expected. You know, when you start this match in back in Monaco, you know, it's going to be really hard to make up places, and yeah, but I.
What is going on with Assetto Corsa Evo? The good, the bad, the ugly, the philosophical. Tom's with me, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes, that's right. The 0.2 or second major early access update was recently released. We've both been playing it, and a lot of thoughts are ringing around in our heads. So let's quickly dive into them. What do you think, John, is the good parts of this particular update?
First of all, I like the new cars, the new content. I think the new sports cars, the Honda NSX R, you've obviously got the Porsche 911 Turbo, the 1993 variant. As I expected, these high-powered road cars, even medium-powered road cars, rear-wheel drive, the handling for me is really, really strong. So the cars are just feeling very natural to drive. You can slide them around in a way that I think is realistic, in my personal opinion. The FFB is pretty good as well. That is probably the strongest point for Assetto Corsa Evo at this moment, in my opinion. Don't know what you think. What do you think, Tom?
There's actually a couple of things to unpack from what you've said there, I think. Let's just talk about the car detail. I think the car models, I think they are the best car models I've seen in a game in terms of accuracy and exacting nature of the interiors and exteriors. Like even the small little dials or lights are seemingly perfect. When you drive the Honda, for example, the radio has like a little digital readout that reads "Drive you tonight," which they didn't need to do. And when you stall it, all the dashboard lights come on as if you would in the real world.
Did you stall it, Tom? You must have stalled it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's part of the thorough road test procedure to spin and stall, and I love those details and the pop-up headlights, and it's very Polyphony-esque in its detail
like
of the
that.
cars. Yes. And for those who are on PlayStation, have never experienced that level of detail in a car, amazing. Flip side being the driving dynamics, and I enjoy it as well. But for me, the force feedback is woeful at the minute. So just to be clear on that, I think you're experiencing good force feedback on which wheelbase we're using?
SimuCube 2 Pro.
Right. I'm on a lot more affordable Thrustmaster T598, but still direct drive and current, and very popular. And there's basically nothing coming back at all. So I quite like the way that the road cars behave, because like the new 911 that they added, the 964 generation, that was known at the time for being a bit peaky in its performance, let's say, and a bit wayward.
I did spin it on like the third corner as well, so that they got that pretty good.
So that's actually accurate. There might be people complaining, going, "Oh, I can't control this car." Well, it is meant to be difficult. Anything else?
On that, Tom, can you appreciate the physics even if the force feedback isn't there?
I can, because like if on the new Alpha Giulia, for example, I downshifted a bit too early and the rear stepped out.
Yeah.
But then I was still able to catch it, and because it's like a softer sprung, even though it's maybe a track-focused vehicle, it's an older vehicle with skinnier tyres. You could then it sort of slew through the corner.
You can dance with it. I love it.
Yes, it didn't snap, and that's a really great thing as well. It's also very easy to be so used to GT3 and GT4 cars in modern contemporary sim racing, and these road cars do behave differently to that, and it's a different driving technique. So I really appreciated that element of the driving experience. Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen lots of discourse as well about the graphics. Some people say it looks worse than original vanilla AC, which I totally disagree with. Some people say it looks like the best game they've ever seen. I'm somewhere in the middle, but I think the graphics are pretty good. The sounds as well, I think, are pretty good.
You know, a lot of Assetto Corsa clips or experiences, especially on PC, are modified.
Modded, yeah, shaders and all that.
Yeah, and that really enhances the visuals. And so they are, Kudos has created a rod for its own back in some respects, because they're up against the modding scene.
Modded AC might look better than ACE, but can you really compare that fairly? I don't know.
Tricky.
That's down to opinion.
And I suppose to round out the positives for now, and there are others we haven't mentioned, I think that they've changed the roadmap. I still think it's a tricky one, because you still don't want to be held to account on the roadmap per se. When you know, for example, Le Mans Ultimate didn't release a clear roadmap early on because it's early days and things are evolving. Kudos and 505 Games went with one, and they've had to change it immediately, which is a bit of an about turn, but I think it's more spaced out now. There's no content drops in between main updates. I think that's a positive shift. Yes, looks like free roam is pushed further back, but okay, that's fine. Let's focus on the driving experience, the visual performance, things like this first. So I think that's a positive thing. And I also think there's no fall 2025 release target now for version 1.0. And I think that's also key, because if it was in this state now and they're still going to release it in fall 2025,
what are the most profitable solo monsters in old school RuneScape? Monsters that you can go to alone at any time and make absolute bank. If you're broke, you won't be for long after this video. And just to let you know, I'm going to be tossing an item every single day to one of you on my Snapchat at BoomEpicKill. Let's jump into some of the highest risk but highest reward bosses you could solo today with no quests or Slayer levels needed. The Chaos Fanatic is found right next to KBD's lair, and is known to drop the Odium Shard 1, worth 2.8 million GP. This boss is a chill fight, and if you bring a looting bag and use the nearby Chaos Altar, you'll get free prayer regenerations that will really extend your trips. The fastest way to get here is by teleporting to the lava maze with a burning amulet and running a bit east. Or you can use a Gorok teleport tab and run a bit south if you have Desert Treasure done. You want to bring good range gear without risking too much, as you are in the wilderness. And you can expect to be making around 1.2 million GP per hour with a chance of the Chaos Elemental pet on top. This boss overall is a 1 out of 5 difficulty, and almost anybody can do it right away. Calvarion, one of the 3 weaker counterparts to the iconic wilderness bosses, Vedion, Callisto, and Vedenatus. All of these bosses drop 1 of 3 pieces of the notorious Voidwaker, the most overpowered spec weapon in the game. You will need to complete the Wilderness Medium Diary to get access to these 3 demi-boss fights. Calvarion is a melee-based fight, with its max value drop being the Voidwaker Blade, worth 5.4 million GP. He's an undead creature, so wearing a Salve Amulet is a really cheap option for some insane damage output. This boss is located in the Graveyard of Shadows, a bit northeast of the Ferox Enclave. This makes it easy to bank and to escape from PKers. Once you learn this boss and have the mechanics down, you can avoid most damage from it and walk away with over 2.5 million GP per hour. Arshio. Similar to Calvarion, Arshio is located near the Ferox Enclave for easy resets and safer banking. Some notable drops from Arshio are the Dragon Pickaxe and the Tyrannical Ring, but the main reason why you're here is its Voidwaker piece as well, worth a juicy 10.6 million GP. This boss deals incredible damage even through melee prayer, so using ranged or magic combat to keep your distance is advised. Now, I suggest you should mage this boss, because the Accursed Scepter is the cheapest out of all the wilderness weapons, and with Ancient Ice Sacs, you can also freeze the boss with Ice Barrage so you never get hit with its melee attacks. You'll be able to net a nice 2.6 million GP per hour completely solo. Spindel. To finish off this list of risky moneymakers with a bang, we have the Money Spider, Spindel. It's the most profitable solo wilderness boss with a max drop of a mind-blowing 53.6 million GP. With that being said, this is the reason there's as many PKers out there looking to get you as this spider has legs on its body. So make sure you don't bring anything you don't want to risk here. The quickest way to get to Spindel is to teleport to the Corporal Beast Cave with a Games Necklace, and then running northwest to the Web Chasm it resides in. This boss is most efficiently killed in a melee setup with a good crush weapon. Some examples are a Dragon Mace, the Sirachnus Cudgel, a Zombie Axe, or an Ursine Chain Mace. Also, bringing a Stamina Potion can be nice, because if she catches you in a web, your stamina points will drain quickly. If you can stay alive at this money-making beast, you'll be making around 5.7 million GP per hour at this 2 out of 5 difficulty boss. Now let's talk about some more minigame style bosses. These minigame style bosses offer some fun, repeatable fights, and some very good profits. Barrows, a classic piece of content that will always pay out. Located in the middle of the Mortania Swamp, is a graveyard where 6 brothers have been buried. Kill all 6 of them and get a chance at some of their armor pieces and weapons. This is a low-risk moneymaker that you only need 43 prayer for protection prayers and a very humble 50 magic to do fairly efficiently. The Barrows brothers are weak to air spells, so bring out your best staff and air spells and go to town on them. With some notable drops here being the Karils and Aram's armor pieces being worth around 1 to 2 million GP. But the biggest reward at the moment is the Darok's Axe being worth 3.8 million. You can get here fast by using the Barrows teleport tabs that you can buy on the GE. Now, assuming you kill all of the brothers and some small monsters in the crypt as you're running to the chest, you have a 1 out of 16 chance to get a unique item, which will allow you to make around 1 to 1.5 million GP per hour at this 1 out of 5 difficulty boss. Now, if you're done digging and running around crypts at Barrows and you're up for a bit more of a challenge, Moons of Peril is perfect for you. This is unlocked after completing the Moons of Peril quest, and this trio of melee fights is a bit more spicy than Barrows. Something to know right away is protection prayers do not work against these 3, so you need to be looking to maximize your melee defense. The quickest way to get here is by crushing a calcified moth. This will teleport you right to the center of Camp Turum, from where you run north into the Nepotli, where the moons are located. Another option is to use the Quetzal transport system, with which you can fly to the Theomat and run down the mountain to the Camp Turum entrance. Or if you have built the Quetzal nest, you can teleport immediately to Camp Turum. In this cave, you can hunt or fish for food, and you can make potions for regenerating your prayer and combat stats for free. This makes it a very low cost boss because you'll be saving a lot of cash on supplies. The drops here are very stable in price, since they're being used in a lot of mid-level bossing and are degradable like the Barrows items. All of the drops are worth millions, and with 2 of the biggest drops being worth nearly 10, if all 3 moons are defeated, your hourly profit will be around 2.5 million GP. the Gauntlet. Now, if the moods aren't perilous enough for you, then the Gauntlet might be what you're looking for. Locked behind the Grandmaster Quest Song of the Elves, this is the top tier of minigame bossing. Located in northwest of Prifidus, the Gauntlet will test your abilities to the fullest. You jump in with no gear, no food, and no potions. You have to gather supplies, armor, and weapons while being on a timer, which you use to kill the final boss, Hunlif. Once you've done a couple regular gauntlets, you can go a step further and try the Corrupted Gauntlet, where your timer to collect supplies will be decreased, and everything will have more HP and higher max hits. In return, you get an extra loot roll per kill, and more than double the odds of getting a unique drop. The regular gauntlet will net you around 2.1 million GP per hour, while the Corrupted Gauntlet goes up to 4.5 million GP per hour. Some drops range from Crystal Armor Seeds worth 5.6 mil, to the staggering 120 mil Enhanced Crystal Weapon Seed. The Gauntlet is rated a 4 out of 5 difficulty, and the Corrupted Gauntlet is a 5 out of 5, so be prepared.
Did you know that there's a few Discord servers that are dedicated on giving GP out? Interested in that type of content? I'll leave a link in the description for those of you guys who want to join and have a passive way to make some GP.
Now, what about some bosses that are more Slayer and quest locked? There's a wide range of bosses that require some late game quests or Slayer levels, but offer some of the best GP per hour in all of Gielinor, like the Grotesque Guardians. Located in the Slayer Tower of Mortania, you will need to have 75 Slayer to get in here, and get a brittle key drop from Gargoyles. This key permanently opens up the gate to the roof in the Slayer Tower, where a chill fight and drops worth up to 8.4 million GP are waiting for you. These Guardians are a duo. You'll need to use melee and ranged combat for this fight, so it's a good boss to practice your gear switches. Other than a nice 1.5 million GP per hour, the Grotesque Guardians also drop an untradeable Granite Dust, which you can use to upgrade your cannonballs to Granite for some extra max hits. The Grotesque Guardians are a 2 out of 5 difficulty, and something everybody should try out. Now, talking about iconic duos, the Royal Titans have more than earned their spot on this list. Down in the Asgarnian Ice Dungeon, Eldrick the Ice King and Branda the Fire Queen form the Royal Titans. This moneymaker's key part is the Twin Flame Staff, which is assembled from 2 parts dropped from each of the bosses. The completed staff is worth a very nice 8.4 million GP. For this boss, you will need to use melee and ranged combat gear. This will be another great opportunity for you to practice gear switches. A cool part about the Royal Titans is they aren't locked behind any Slayer levels, but you can profit from the Slayer Helm damage bonus if you get yourself a Fire or Ice Giant task. The fastest way to get there would be the Giant Soul Amulet, but that has a 1 out of 16 drop rate from the boss itself. So to get those first kills out of the way quickly, you want to use the Fairy Ring code AIQ and run north to the ladder that enters the Ice Dungeon. The Royal Titans is a 2 out of 5 difficulty boss and can make you around 1.8 million GP per hour. Zulrah, rated 3 out of 5 difficulty. People call this the Money Snake, an iconic boss that uses all combat styles. This boss is mostly fought in a magic and ranged setup, although you can use melee here. And once you row your boat into the swamp, a fast-paced fight with Zulrah will start. Each kill is worth around 150 to 200k, and can easily take less than 2 minutes depending on your gear and skill. Zulrah's hourly profit will be around 2.5 to 3 million GP per hour, depending on how lucky you get. Unique drops like the Serpentine Visage and Magic Fang are all worth over 4 million GP, with the Tanzanite Fang sitting at nearly 7 mil at the moment. Vorkath, conveniently named the Money Dragon, fighting this dragon makes you up to 5 million GP per hour, with most of the value coming not from the unique drops, but from common drops like his bones and hides. This means you don't have to get lucky to get rich. Vorkath is locked behind the completion of Dragon Slayer 2, which is a hefty requirement, but oh so worth it. You can fight Vorkath with melee or